Hey everybody, this is Keith Gleason, host of Indie Comics Relay, creator of the Mighty Mascots, and promoter for the Plastic City Comic Con. And I'm doing the best comics of 2024, part one. All right, before we get into that, let me just remind you that Mighty Mascots 10, the run is complete now, and we are in demand on this title. Now, it's going to be in demand for the foreseeable future as we make the book. And once the book is completed, I have a release date of summer. So hopefully, I want to try to get it done and out to people before then, but we'll see what happens. But so I think the campaign will be open till then. So if you haven't backed, please consider backing it. We got the comic and the toys and all that fun stuff. As you can see, lots of perks, lots of trade paperbacks, the whole kit caboodle, if you will. So check that out. All right. So this is the first time the Indie Comics Relay channel has ever done a best of the year list. So I started compiling a list like about a month ago, like just going through all the comics I bought for this year. Now this list is, extensive, I guess, for me. So like I'll give you like the parameters. So I haven't read every indie book out there, but I have read a good chunk of what's out there. And a lot of the parameters, it has to have come out in 2024. Even if it's an ongoing or whatever, the issue would have to come out in 2024 to be considered for this. There was a lot that I chose, and then upon looking at release dates, a lot of them came out at the tail end of 2023. So I eliminated those from the list. So I have a top 10 list of the best of 2024, and then I have another 10 titles that were honorable mentions that I will do in the next video after I count down from 5 to 1. So this video will be from the top 10 books, but the first 5 in that. So we'll start at 10, work our way down. And these are the parameters for this are I have to have read the issues, which all of these I've read. And like I said, I haven't read everything out there. So there might be an unbelievable title that I missed this year. And I miss a lot, because I don't have the money to get everything. And unless it's, handed to me, sometimes I don't read it. And then sometimes I get stuff and I don't read till much later. So that also disqualifies anything from previous years. But this is all stuff that I've read. Some of it I've done reviews for on the channel too, which is kind of cool. But I went through everything that came out and I kind of really sat down and thought about my list. So this will be pretty good for us. So, all right. So let's start with number 10 on the list. And number 10 is going to be Johnny Quest #1. Now I was so excited for this book to come out, and it did not disappoint. I loved it. It's written by Joe Casey with art by Sebastian Perez, and it, a million covers. It's dynamite. But I love this cartoon growing up, and I was so excited that it was coming back to comics. So I was really pumped for this issue. I got the free comic book day issue that came out, and then I read #1 and I loved it. Joe Casey just gets the spirit of this cartoon. And I really thought this is great. If you missed this on the initial run, I implore you to go get the trade paperback that Dynamite will eventually release on this series. It's great stuff, especially if you're an old cartoon fan. I think you'll love it. So that is number 10, Johnny Quest #1. Okay, number 9 is Feral #1. Now, this was a title by Tony Fleecs. Artist is Trish Forstner. And this came out in the beginning of 2024. This was a follow-up to their great miniseries Stray Dogs, which if you haven't read that, I would say check that out, and then maybe check out Feral, or just check out Feral. Now I love this mashing of genres. It is like a cutesy kind of, like if you took a Disney movie and mixed it with a horror movie, that's the kind of vibe that Stray Dogs and Feral has. Now, Feral is the story about a group of cats that get lost during an outbreak of rabies, and the rabies is sort of treated like a zombie outbreak. So it's really well done. You get to know the cat characters and get to love them, and it's still ongoing. I think issue 8 or 9 just came out, and it's been great all the way through. So I highly recommend Feral. I think Tony Fleeks and Trish Forstner are great creators. Tony Fleeks this has been the year of him. He's had a lot of great books out. So yeah, check out Feral #1. This is number 9 of the best of 2024. Okay, let's move on to number 8. Number 8 is Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. This was a complete miniseries, 6 issues. The writer and artist of this was Patrick Horvath. Now, this one took the indie world by storm earlier this year. I missed out on it. I had no idea that this was going to be such a massive hit for IDW and for the indie comic scene. I ended up getting the issues like the 10th printings of each of them after the fact. This was like months later after it had come out. And I loved it. It was great. It's if you take like a storybook, the artwork looks like a storybook, like a children's storybook. But if one of the characters in the storybook was a serial killer, and that's what the story is about. As you can see, there's the bear dragging a bloodied bag behind her. It's really great. If you like stuff like Dexter or anything with serial killers, I think you'll like this book a lot. And the artwork is remarkable. I can see why it was such a massive hit. Much like Feral, it's taken these genres that don't normally go together, but creating something new and interesting and awesome. It's gross too. I got to admit, there were some pages there I was like, whoa, so if you're looking for a great horror book, something different, check out Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. So that is number 8. Okay, so 2 more before we end this video, and then we'll do the second part later on, either this week or the beginning of next week, something like that. So the next one is number 7. This is Redcoat #1. This was put out by Ghost Machine. I've been talking about Ghost Machine a lot in all my comic reviews. Great new imprint by Jeff Johns, and some of the best artists that ever go through DC Comics are in, and writers working on this new imprint. And Redcoat was one of the standout titles of this year. It's about an immortal Redcoat. Basically, you imagine if you took a douchey character and gave him immortality by accident, and you're following this adventures of basically a dipshit. And I loved it. It was so good. The artwork by Brian Hitch is unbelievable. And Jeff Johns continues to be one of the best comic book writers out there. Every story feels different, fresh. He doesn't do the same kind of thing over and over again. So Ghost Machine, one of the best imprints to come out in the last couple of years. And Redcoat's been an amazing book. And the wraparound covers by Hitch, the storyline, so good. Highly recommend. All right, so that was number 7. And now our last one for this portion of the video is Blood Brothers Mother #1. Now, this is by Brian Azzarello, and the artwork is by Eduardo Rizzo. This is by Distillery Media, and Distillery Media's big thing is they put out books in a magazine, prestige kind of format. Every book is about 60-something pages. Beautiful artwork, the printing, everything about it speaks boutique and prestige, which is, so you pay a little more for these comics, but they're totally worth it. And Blood Brothers Mother, a little bit of a tongue twister there. This is Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Rizzo, who grew to fame with 100 Bullets from Vertigo Comics, which was an excellent series back in the day. Love that. I'm due for another reread of that entire series. I have the whole thing in trade paperback, but I loved it. And the fact that these guys got together to do more stuff and a Western on top of that, this is great stuff. I have not read number 2 and 3. I was saving it till 3 comes out, but I figured I'd read number 1. And I wanted to make sure it would make the list, and it certainly did, and I loved it. I just read it like a week ago. So this was great stuff. If you haven't gotten it, I highly recommend Blood Brothers Mothers. So check that out. All right. That is the first half of the 2024 list. I hope you guys enjoy. Please comment. Let me know what some of the best indie books that you've read this year. I'm sticking mostly to small press as well, like small press mainstream, I guess. Small press mainstream stuff that you'd see in comic book stores. I haven't even, I guess maybe down the road, maybe I should consider some stuff with crowdfunding and stuff that came out. But I'm just trying to stick to mainstream releases. So, and like I said, I'll be back soon, either later this week or next week sometime, with the second half of this video, and we'll count down 5 to 1, and then I will also share honorable mentions as well. So, but all right, everybody, I hope you have a great week. Have a great New Year's, because that's coming up in the next day or so. And let's make 2025 the year of indie comics. So have a great week and read some comics. All right, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hey, it's Christmas time. Grab your snacks. Keith, Johnny, and Harry are bringing the facts. Indie comics, they're the best. Better than reindeer, you can't forget the rest. Oh ho ho, let's all go to the Indie Comics Relay Show. Drawing, laughing, spreading cheer. It's the goofiest Christmas of the year. So hit subscribe, don't delay. Join the fun this holiday. Keith, Johnny, and Harry say Merry Christmas from the Relay.
It's Christmas time. Grab your snacks. Keith, Johnny, and Harry are bringing the facts.
Indie comics, they're the best. Better than reindeer, you can't forget the rest. Oh ho ho, let's all go to the Indie Comics Relay Show. Drawing, laughing, spreading cheer. It's the goofiest Christmas of the year. So hit subscribe, don't delay. Join the fun this holiday. Keith, Johnny, and Harry say Merry Christmas from the